Great, so we will get started. So it's so nice to see everybody join, and I'm so excited that you guys have all joined for the 7-day meditation challenge. So meditation has just been a very impactful practice for my life, so I'm really excited to get to share that with you. So I know last couple of months, as the world has responded to COVID-19, has been really stressful for a lot of people. I mean, our lives have been completely turned around, where it's changed the way that we interact with others, the way we work, and just really the way that we do everything. Our normal routine has gotten out of schedule. And anytime there's change, that can always cause some anxiety and some fear. And now, as many of us, I think some of us are starting to come out of quarantine, or at least that's what they're saying. Some of you guys may already have, depending on your location. But it is going to be a new normal, so we're not going to be doing things the way that we were, at least for a little while. And again, that can cause some anxiety. But I've kind of like to think that this time was sort of a sacred pause. So it's given us a chance to maybe reconnect with our kids and spend more time with our partners. It also has provided us with an opportunity just to contemplate how things are going in our lives, and maybe even a chance to create new habits. And so that's really my intention with this as well too, whereas if we get to meet every day and practice together, that this is a habit that you can take with you, moving forward. Hopefully after these 7 days, you'll have the tools and the resources that you need to do that. So that's really my intent for the next 7 days. And I also like to think that the time in quarantine, so from what I'm reading, it's kind of given the environment a chance to catch its breath. We were reading that dolphins were swimming in the canals in Venice. But I like to think of it as a time that we've had to catch our breath as well too. So again, just to kind of get into better habits, kind of contemplate where we're going, and reconnect with the people who we really want to connect with. So and I know I've talked about this with a few of you guys, that with social distancing in place, it's been kind of interesting where we haven't had a opportunity to connect with others the way that we normally do, but in some ways it's made our interactions almost more meaningful. Like I've heard people are talking to family and friends more, people are making new connections that are meaningful, and I think that's really important to note, that even when things seem like they're not going well or things aren't going the way we planned, there's always good in it. There's always some other things. If we can pause, step back, we can find ways where things might actually be a little bit better. And I think meditation would really give us the opportunity to do that. So first, a little bit about meditation. Like, why do we even want to do this? So meditation is an opportunity for us to train our mind and to cultivate a sense of calm and ease. So just like we go to the gym to exercise our muscles, or we read books to become smarter, meditation is an opportunity where we can start to observe our thoughts. So often we don't take the time to observe our thoughts. We kind of just go with the flow, and whatever we're thinking, we quickly react to. So we act on conditioned behaviors. But when we take a step back and we can relax and we can meditate, we can observe that our thoughts can come and go. And we don't necessarily have to fuse with them. So for example, somebody cuts you off in traffic. Well, when you were going out in traffic, your first reaction is to be maybe kind of angry, annoyed. But with practice, you start to realize you're not anger, but you can experience anger. It gives us a little bit of space between our thoughts, where meditation teaches us to become the observer of our thoughts, so we don't have to fuse with them. So often we can start to catch ourselves noticing if we're lamenting the past or if we're fretting about the future. And when we tend to kind of think about the past, we can get a little bit depressed, where if we're anxious about the future, we can get anxious. We fear the future. But meditation also teaches us to stay in the present, so we can start to catch ourselves with these recursive thoughts, and we can choose to put our attention on a more positive thought. So it does take practice. So I really want you to think of meditation is more like brushing your teeth, going to the gym, or cleaning your house. Unfortunately, we can't just do it once in a while and we're going to be all set. It's really something that you need to do every day, just like you need to brush your teeth every day. You can't do it once a week. So it's better to meditate even just for 5 to 10 minutes a day than to say like try to do it for an hour once a week. So again, that's what I'm really trying to do with this practice, is to make sure that we can get into a regular routine and just make it a habit. And you might think that you don't have time to meditate, and I know, everybody is very busy. I am as well. But we really do. So if you start to think about the time that you spend checking emails or scrolling through social media, there's things that we do that we could put aside to make time for meditation. And even if you have to get up a little bit earlier in the morning, I think it's well worth the time. And I know that's something that I've started doing once I had children. I got up about an hour earlier just so I could have some time to ground myself, meditate, and do the practices that are important to me. So that's a little bit about meditation. So my intent is that each day we're going to learn a different type of meditation, and I'll talk a little bit about it, but then we're just going to get to practice it. And today we are going to be practicing an awareness of breath meditation. So this is the type of meditation that is most oftenly referred to or used in mindfulness practices, where it gives us an opportunity just to kind of focus our attention on our breath. So our breath acts as an anchor. So we're still going to have thoughts. You're still going to be thinking about what you need to do after this, or maybe something that had happened last night. And that's fine. We're not going to get a crystal clear mind, but what we are going to do is start to notice when we're thinking and redirect the mind back to the breath. And that's something that the more you meditate, the more you'll start to notice it in your daily life, even when you're not meditating and you're starting to get annoyed about something someone said earlier. You don't have to engage in the storyline. You can choose where to put your mind. And that's really part of the awareness of breath meditation, is it's training where we want to focus our mind. And we'll start to get glimpses of clarity throughout meditation where we're not really thinking about anything. And that actually shows the true nature of our mind, which is like joy, peace, and ease, where it's not fearful, it's not anxious, and it's not angry. And it's those glimpses that we eventually want to try to expand. And that's why yogis for thousands of years have meditated. It's to uncover the clarity of the mind, to feel that peace and joy. And not that we're going to get to all of that, but we're going to catch glimpses of it. And that's really the practice, is to get the glimpses. So with that said, so as we start to come into our meditation, I want you to take a comfortable seat. But posture is important in meditation. So if you don't have a meditation cushion, if you want to sit straight up in your chair. So how we hold our body also affects the energy of our body. So when we're sitting up, we can be more attentive, we can be more focused, and we also are less likely to fall asleep during a meditation. So you can have shoulders stacked over hips, keep the neck in line with the spine, maybe your chin is slightly tucked, and you can just rest your palms in your lap. And you can close your eyes here, and there's some meditations that you can keep your eyes open, but I think for many of us who have meditated for that long, I think it's easier to keep the eyes closed. So you can close your eyes here, and you can just start to settle in. And you can start to place your mind's focus right to your breath. And you can start to notice the inhale and the exhale. And maybe you can even start to focus on a part of the body where the breath manifests. So maybe that's the chest. It ascends as you inhale and descends as you exhale. Or maybe you feel the air as it enters and exits the nostrils. But wherever in the body you feel the breath the most, you can place your attention there. And sometimes it can help with an awareness of breath meditation if you want to label the breaths. So maybe you silently think to yourself, inhale with each inhale, and exhale with each exhale. And if you notice your mind starting to wander, no judging, just gently bring the focus back to the breath. Almost like you were training a puppy. Just kindly and gently return the focus to the breath. And just like we can label our breath, inhale and exhale, when we notice thoughts, we could just label them thinking and then return the mind back to the breath. And just continuing to notice the inhales and the exhales. And how the body moves in response to the breath. remembering that your mind is like a clear blue sky, with the thoughts just like passing clouds. Even when we don't engage with our thoughts, we get to keep the clarity. And the same goes true with any bodily discomfort. If you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're really uncomfortable, you can shift positions. But again, sometimes that's just a distraction. Just see if you can just bring the attention back to the breath. And then for the last minute or so, you can just completely start over. So wherever you were in your meditation, wherever you may have found yourself thinking about, let's just start over, like right from the beginning. And just start focusing on the breath and just seeing how that manifests in the body. And you can start to slowly open your eyes. And start to come back. So that was our awareness of breath meditation. And that's just one type of meditation that we're going to be learning this week. So we'll also be working with loving kindness, mantra, mudra, heart opening, and an open awareness meditation. And you'll definitely have your favorites, but it's great to get exposed to all of them because they all help us cultivate different energies But I think you'll see with practice that meditation not only improves your emotional state, so your relationship with others, cultivating a sense of peace and calm and reduced anxiety, but also physical as well. So it improves our sleep and it decreases our stress hormones. And you really do just start to, it increases our immunity as well too. So you start to notice a difference. So I hope that was a good first introduction to meditation. If you would like to continue to meditate after, if you wanted a little bit longer, you should definitely do that. Tomorrow we were going to be focused on a loving kindness meditation. So where our awareness of breath helped us kind of observe our thoughts and start to train our mind to put our focus on something, what we want it to put our focus on. A loving kindness helps us build empathy and compassion for ourselves, but for others as well. And when we start to cultivate this, it helps us feel happier and more at ease because we feel more connected to others in our environment. So that's a really beautiful practice as well. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you tomorrow. And I am going to unmute you guys, so if you have any questions, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining, and I hope you continue for the next 7 days. I will also be posting all of these videos on Facebook and YouTube, so if you want to come back and practice at any point on your own, you'll be able to do that. You guys should have the links, but if you have any questions about that, you can do that. And I will unmute folks now. Okay, I think someone's unmuting some folks aren't, but I think you could.
Good.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice to see you, Sharon.
You're
Yep, thank you guys.
Thanks, Lisa. That was great.
Oh, good. Thanks for joining.
That's a good start.
Thanks, Lisa.
Great, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for joining. More meditations.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank
So
you,
see
Lisa.
you tomorrow at 8:30.
Yes, tomorrow at 8:30 for the next 6 days now. We will practice the different types of meditation, and we'll probably go a little bit longer each time. So I don't know how long we did it for this time, maybe about 7 minutes or so, but we'll try to do it a little bit longer. But I just want to explain a little bit about each type of meditation and what you can get out of it.